Good morning, all. Let's get started. Okay. So today we are going to start with the DAX calculations. Yeah. Now, in the DAX calculations, we have four different sections: standard, time, text, filter, and then table functions as well. Yeah. Now, before we start with the calculations, let's understand the difference between a calculated measure and a calculated column. Okay. A calculated column is a physical column that would be present once you create it in your table. Yeah, that means only in the front end. Okay, so if you create a column, let's say I created a calculated column using if else. Okay, so you would be able to see that calculated column in this view. But when you go to Power Query Editor, there that calculated column won't be there. Yeah. Calculated columns give you a row by row results and a measure gives you a summarized result. When I say row by row, that means for each row, what would be the output based on the calculation that you have done, that would be there. Yeah. Okay. So a calculated column is a physical column with row by row results. Calculated measure is not a physical column. You will not be able to see that in the table, and it gives you a summarized result. That means it gives you any one result here, one value. Okay. That is the difference between the two. Yeah. Now let's start with um, the calculated measures in which we will deal with the standard functions today. Yeah. So in standard functions, we have first the sum. Yeah. What is a sum? Sum will give you the total of a particular field. Yeah. Let's say sum of units sold. Yeah. So the total of units sold, you will get it by using sum. Okay. Let's see that. So now again, for sum, as it is going to give me one single value, I'm going to use a calculated measure. Yeah. So let's create a measure. Now, while creating a measure, if you need a separate table for measures only, you can create a separate table. So I'll show you how to create that separate table, a table in which you will only have measures. Okay. So you can only create a table with measures. For calculated column, you cannot create. So calculated column, you should create where you have the fields existing. Yeah, so let's say I need to create a calculated column based on some fields from financial samples. So I will create that calculated column inside this table. Yeah, nowhere else. But measure doesn't have that restriction. You can create a measure which has fields from financial sample, but you can create it anywhere in any of the table. Okay, so let's create a measure table. Yeah, how do you create it? You will say enter data. Yeah, you'll just create a blank table. I'll call it as a measure table. Okay, I will load this. Yeah. Once I load it, I will see that here. Yeah. Now, what I can do is I can write my first measure inside this table. So let's do that. I'll say new measure. I need the sum of units sold. Yeah. So units sold sum. Now this is the measure name is equal to, I'll use the DAX function sum and then I'll call the field units sold. Close the bracket. Yeah. So initially you have to create one measure and then you see this column one. Once you create a measure, then go ahead to this column and hide this. Yes. What will that do is it will push your measure table at the top and its icon would change. Yeah. So if you see the others seems like a table, here the measure table seems like a measure. Yeah, a calculator kind of an icon appears. Why this happens is because you only have a measure available inside the table. I have hidden the column one. Yeah. So that's why it is available here. This is how you create a separate measure table. Yeah. Now the sum of units sold. Okay. Let's take that into a card. Yeah. So this gives me the total of units sold for the complete table. This measure that I've created will interact with all the visuals that are there. Yeah, let's say if I select Canada here, it's not getting affected. Oh, sorry, because this is from another table. Yeah. If I use something from financial sample in this visualization, let's say now I select Canada. You can see that it changes its value. Okay, okay, this is also there. Yeah. So this is how you can create a measure which would give you a sum. Yeah. Now you may say that why to create a separate measure which would give you a sum? Because if you populate the field directly, yeah, let's say if I populate the field directly here, by default the summarization is sum. So why do you have to create a separate thing with sum? Yeah. Because sum is not used individually most of the times. Yeah, when you are doing some other calculations, let's say divide. Yeah, divide a by b. So in your divide calculation, b is to be the sum of units sold. Yeah, so you cannot directly use a field inside a measure. Yeah, you need a DAX calculation which would give you a single value output and then you can use it. Yeah, so in these cases sum would be important. Yeah, so you'll say sum of a filtered value. Yeah, let's say sum of sales for Canada divided by the total sales. Yeah, divided by the sum of sales. This kind of things. If you want to do like that, then you will be using sum DAX function. Yeah, so that's why we don't use it individually because it doesn't give much output because you have it already present in your table. Yeah. So any field that you take into a visualization and its summarization is sum, then it would give you the similar kind of results. If you create the sum DAX function like this. Okay, so it would give you the similar kind of results. So that's why individually using the sum is very rare. Yeah, but still users do it so that they have a ready measure and they have a measure with them which gives the sum already, and then in a divide function, let's say, so they can directly call this measure inside a measure. Yeah, so they don't have to separately write sum of units or to get the results. Yeah, so that was sum. Now let's go ahead and see what is sum x. Yeah, so we have seen sum. What is sum x? Sum x is nothing but if you want to filter a total, right? We just now talked about the total of sales for country Canada. Yeah. So if you want to filter a value, then sum x can be helpful. Yeah. So here x stands for expression. Okay. So what you can do is you can filter a measure. You can do some calculations like you can do A into B, A divided by B, A plus B, A minus B. Yeah. You can say A plus B into brackets and then divided by B, something like that. Yeah. So any mathematical operations that you need to perform, you can use sum x for that. Yeah. Let's see two examples of sum x. One, I will do the calculation. In the second, I will filter the value for a particular uh, text. Okay, so for that, let's take a table visual. Here's the date. Now, let's use the financial statement. Let's use country in this. Okay. Yeah. So now let's say I need to create units sold into sales price. That's the calculation that I need to do from the financials table. Yeah. So I can use SumX. How? Let's create a measure. I'll say units sold into sales price is equal to. Yeah. So I will use the DAX function SumX. Yeah. Now you just need to follow the intelligence. Now what it is asking me the table name. So what is the table name from which I need to do the calculation? Financials, right? So I will write that here. Financials. Yeah. Comma. Now is the expression. So you can write the expression here. Yeah. So what is my expression? Units sold into sales price. That's it. So you can write your calculation like this, hit enter, and it would give you the results. You can populate it in a table, and you can see the values for yourself. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to do some mathematical operations, you can do it like this. Yeah. Not only multiplication, you can do divide, something like that. Let's say I need to get the calculation of this and then subtract the discounts from this calculation to get the sales price. You can get that as well. Okay. Clear till here? How to use SumX for mathematical calculations? Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next one in which we will filter it for a particular value. Let's say I need to create a measure which would give me the total of sales for the country Germany. Yeah. So here what I'm going to do is I need to filter a measure. Yeah. I need to filter a value for a certain dimension. Yeah, like let's say I need to filter it for France or Germany or Canada or something like that. Yeah. So what I can do is I will use SumX. Now here, why does it prompt you to enter the table name is because that would be the context on which the expression would be applied. Yeah. So my expression here is very simple. It's a sum. Yeah. But I need to filter it for country Germany. Yeah. So instead of giving the complete table, I will give the filtered result. That is country is equal to Germany. That would be the table for this measure. Yeah. So how do you add the filter here? You will say filter. Okay, filter is again a DAX function. Now filter is prompting me to enter the table name. So financials. And what is my filter? Country is equal to Germany. Right. Now this portion acts as a table for our measure. Yeah. So this is the table wherein the country is filtered for Germany. Then my expression. What is the expression? I need sales. Yeah. So as we are using sum x, that means the measure that you provide here for that, it would give you the total. Okay. Hit enter. And remove this. Let's populate this. So you can see that it gives the total only for the country Germany. Yeah. Now here, if you see, if I want to populate all the other countries, yeah, even though there is no value, I can just do like this, right click and say show items with no data. There you go. Yeah. Understood how to create a sum x. Let's go ahead and try this.
सर
Yeah. Yes, okay.
ये फॉन्ट साइज थोड़ा इंक्रीज कर दीजिए ना, वो दिखने में थोड़ा दिक्कत आ रहा है।
फॉर्मूला का फॉन्ट साइज
हाँ, नहीं स्क्रीन में ही बहुत सब सारे चीजें छोटे छोटे दिख रहे हैं। हाँ ठीक है, अभी ठीक है।
Let's go ahead, try this. Yeah. So instead of Germany, you will create a filtered sum for product Velo, VELO. Okay. So create a measure for the filtered value Velo. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. Let me know once you're done. Done, everyone.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Can you please explain this sumx function once again, please?
Yeah. So what does the sumx function do? It gives you the capability to filter a particular dimension, or you can do some mathematical operations on it. Yeah. Like the one that you see on the screen is giving you a filtered result, right? So what is a filtered result? Let's say I have the normal total sales. Yeah. So this sales will give you the total for the sales for each of the country. But what I need a separate measure which would give me only the sales for a particular country. Yeah. So if you want to create this kind of things wherein it just gives you the value for um, value for a particular country or a particular product, let's say. So for that reason, you can create a sumx function. The other capability of sumx is to do the mathematical calculations. Like here, if you see A into B minus discounts, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah.
It's basically by using the sumx function, we are grouping the country with the cells
Yeah.
in this example. No?
Got it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go ahead, create a measure. As I said, product value should be the filter. Okay. So if I remove the country, yeah. So I should only get this total sales 182,50,059.47. Yeah. Has anyone completed it? If yes, let's see it.
सर मैंने सर सेलेक्ट किया था फ्रांस और मेरा रिजल्ट आया है सेल्स फ्रांस का दिख रहा है यहाँ पे यूनिट सोल्ड है 240,931 और सेल्स फ्रांस का जो न्यू कॉलम जो ऐड हुआ है उसमें दिख रहा है 24,354 ऐसे क्यों है अलग अलग
स्क्रीन शेयर करोगे, चेक करते हैं।
तो दिख रहा है
क्योंकि अभी आपने मेजर में लिया है सेल्स, द मेजर इज सेल्स, राइट? और आपका टेबल में जो दूसरा नॉर्मल मेजर है वो यूनिट सोल्ड है। अगर आप सेल्स लोगे यूनिट सोल्ड के जगह पे तो बराबर दिखेगा।
ठीक है सर तो सम एक्स फंक्शन का मतलब सिर्फ खाली वो सर्च कर रहा है वैल्यूज, सम नहीं कर रहा ना?
सम कर रहा है ना, सम कर रहा है तभी तो हम यहाँ पे वैल्यू डालता है ना, तो टोटल ऑफ सेल्स वो देगा। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, राइट, अभी मैंने जो मेजर क्रिएट किया है वो है फॉर जर्मनी, करेक्ट। सो अगर मैं वो जर्मनी वाला मेजर यहाँ पे यूज करूँ, सो स्टिल इट गिव्स मी द टोटल। अभी यहाँ पे डिफरेंस क्यों दिख रहा है, क्योंकि ये सिर्फ जर्मनी का टोटल है बट डिवाइडेड बाय प्रोविंस।
तो इसका यूज किस कंडीशन में होगा, मतलब कैसे, मतलब कब इसको यूज करेंगे सम एक्स को?
हाँ, जैसे जैसे मैंने बोला कि समझो आपको डिवाइड करना है, राइट, या फिर
हाँ।
आपको कोई फिल्टर्ड वैल्यू चाहिए दिखाने के लिए इन अ विजुअल, राइट, और वो
हाँ।
सिर्फ जर्मनी का ही वैल्यू दिखा है, ऐसा, या इस केसेस में, लाइक इफ यू वांट टू डिवाइड समथिंग बाय अ टोटल,
हम्म।
ऐसा। Done with the sumx, everyone. Created for the product value, the filter. Yeah. Let me know if it is done. We can move forward. Okay. Let's move forward.
सर,
Mm-hmm.
ये जो हमने सेल्स जर्मनी का ये जो फंक्शन अभी ये जो लगा है वो ये है ना, फिल्टर लगाया है ना हमने कि जर्मनी
हाँ, ये
में
फिल्टर,
कौन सी
हाँ,
प्रोडक्ट का कितना सेल्स हुआ है,
करेक्ट,
उसका टोटल है।
उसका टोटल है ये, राइट।
हम्म।
सो सेम, नाउ लेट्स सी, अभी हमने यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक ही फिल्टर किया। What if I need to filter more countries, yeah, in the same measure, right? Not only Germany, but I need France as well. Yeah. Okay. So if I need the France as well in that, what I can do is instead of is equal to, I'll say in, okay, and I'll enter this into curly brackets. So we call it a subset. We create a subset here. Yeah. So I'll say France. Oops. France. Okay. So now if you see here in the table, if you see what has happened now is you get both of the values together, and in the total, grand total, you will get the results. Yeah. That's how you create it. Okay. So remember, whenever you need to create a sum x for multiple values together, you can use this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, understood this? Yeah. Now, one thing to note here is I can only add one dimension as a filter. Yeah. Let's say I need to filter it for country and I need to filter it for product. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. So if I want to do that, I cannot do it here. Correct. So how will I do it? Yeah. I can use calculate. Yeah. So I will use another DAX function instead of sumx, and then we will see how the calculate works and how the sumx works and how there is a difference between the two. Okay. So let me use calculate this time and I will generate the same result. Okay. So we'll come to know what is the difference between sumx and calculate. Yeah. So let's create a new measure in which I would be using calculate. So here I'll say sales Europe. So here I'm going to use, yeah, I will use here calculate. Okay. Calculate. Yeah. What I need is I need the total of sales. Okay. And then what I wanted was I want to filter it for the country, France and Germany. Right. So in this calculate function, by default, it has the filter. So I don't need to use the filter function separately. Yeah. So let's filter the country. Yeah, again, not is equal to, but I will use in because I need to add multiple values. I need to create a subset. Okay. France, Germany. Yeah. So the measure is created. Let's use it here. Yeah. So can you notice the difference? Yeah. Calculate doesn't get distributed by the dimension that you have in the table. Yeah. It gives you the total of that filtered value, but it doesn't get distributed. So it will always return you the total. It will not get a distributed result, right? Here, if you see, if you're using a sumx, it gives you a distributed result. Yeah. So that is the difference, okay, between calculate and sumx. Yeah. So sumx, what sumx does is sumx will get distributed and it will give you the value wherever that particular country is. Yeah. But calculate, it would give you the total all across. Yeah. So the difference between using this is, yeah. So the difference between using this is, let's say I have this country, right? Country visual. If I select Canada, okay, this is the different one. Mm, let's have a slicer here for country. Okay. So if I select Canada, let's say, right? For Canada, what has happened? The sales Germany, where we use the sumx, it has gone blank. Why? Because it shows only for the related values. Yeah. But if you see the calculate, it gives you the total anytime, even if you select something else. Yeah. Okay. Understood this. If I select Mexico, again, it goes blank. I select United States, it goes blank. But the calculate function, it will give you the value. It will give you the results. Yeah. So this is the difference between the two. Yeah. Now, if I select something from the filtered value itself, if I select France, even then it would return you the total. Okay. That's the difference. Okay. Understood the difference?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So one more feature of calculate function is that it can add more fields. Yeah. Let's say, okay. So let's say I need to filter product as well. No? So what I can do is after this country filter, I can hit comma and I'll say product. Yeah. So we will filter it for a certain product is equal to, let's say, Pasio. Pasio is the product that I need to filter. I hit enter. It will give me the results. So you'll see the difference between the results. Yeah. Okay. So that is how you can add. So you can in calculate, you can add n number of values and n number of filters that you need. Yeah. Okay. So that's what calculate is. Right. Now let's get to another measure. Yeah. I hope the difference between SumX and calculate is clear. Yeah. Rest of the functions are pretty easy. Yeah. So sum and SumX we have completed calculated. Yeah. Now if you see, we have count a, count ax, count x, min x, max x, average x. Yeah. So what is count? What the count will give you? It will give you the total of the count of a particular field. Yeah. Let's say count of um, units sold. Yeah. Yeah. So count of units sold. What I can do is I can use the function count, yeah, of the field units sold. Okay. So I created the measure. Let's populate it here. Count of units sold. What will it return? It will return me the total of the count for the related field. Yeah. So I have France selected, so it is giving me the count of uh, the rows for the country France. If I select Canada, it gives me for that. If I don't select anything, it gives me for the total. Yeah. So if you want to return a row count for a particular field, you can use count. Yeah. Now, what is count A and how it is different from count? Yeah. Count will give you the count. It will return you the count if the field has number values, if it has text values, or if it has dates. Yeah. Count A will give you the results if it has text, number, date, and Boolean expressions as well. So if you have true or false values in your field, even then you will get the output. Yeah. So that's the difference between count and count A. That's the only difference. So what I do is, for safer side, I ignore count and I always use count A. Okay. Okay. Right. So that's the difference between count and count A. Yeah. Now, what is the difference between count and count X? Again, X means expression, so you can get a count for a specific filtered value. Yeah. For a specific filtered value, you can get a count, right? So that is what count X is. Count AX is again the same thing. If you have some Boolean expression, so you can add that as well. Yeah. Okay. count A and count AX and count X. We have covered this. Yeah. Then is min. What is min? If you want to find out the minimum value. Yeah. So I'll just do the edit on the same function. Okay. So if I need to get the minimum value. Yeah. So for the complete table, the minimum value is 200. If I select Canada, the complete for the country Canada, it would give you the results. Yeah, it would give you the minimum for Canada. If I select France, this is the minimum related to France. Yeah, this is how it works. Okay. Yeah. So that was about min. Again, if I need the maximum, that is the maximum value. Yeah, I can use the DAX function max. Yeah. Then if I need the average, I can use average. And then you also have average X, which is nothing but if you need to filter it for something or if you need to do some calculations based on it, you can do that. Okay. Yeah. Clear till here? Yeah. That brings us to the end of DAX, standard DAX function. Yeah. So in the standard DAX function, the major thing is your calculate function and the SUMX function. Yeah. Mostly, if you calculate is used widely because if you need to filter a value, you will not only show it for the related dimension in a particular table, but you need to use this somewhere else as well. Yeah. So that's why you can use calculate most of the time. SUMX is used in very rare case if you just want to populate the filtered result or you want to do the calculation and you need to get it into the related fields only, then you can do like that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Clear till here? That was about standard DAX function. Yeah. We will continue tomorrow with time intelligence functions. Yeah. We were doing the standard DAX functions today, which was a bit easy. Yeah. So I hope you practice all the DAX functions that we learned today by tomorrow so that you get an hands-on on how to create a calculated measure and calculated column. Yeah. Tomorrow for some of the DAX function, we would be creating a calculated column. Yeah. Okay.
सर
Yes, okay.
सर जैसे हमने कॉलम लिए ना, कंट्री लिया, सेल्स लिया, और
हाँ.
जर्मनी और फ्रांस का हमने सेल्स लिया, मतलब ये मेजर क्रिएट किया। तो जब हमने वो तो फिल्टर का हमने फॉर्मूला लिखा था यहाँ पे।
Some extra. हाँ.
सेल्स का कॉलम में और कंट्री के कॉलम में कनाडा, मैक्सिको और यूनाइटेड स्टेट ये नहीं आना चाहिए ना, अगर फिल्टर लगा है तो फंक्शन में।
फिल्टर यहाँ पे फिल्टर लगा है मैंने। ये क्या किया था, शो आइटम्स विद नो डेटा किया था। ठीक, ठीक है। अब समझो ये यूरोप वाला फील्ड मेरे पास ना हो, ओके, और मैं ये वाला टिक हटा दूं तो भी वो दिखाएगा क्योंकि यहाँ पे सेल्स है। अगर मैं ये निकालूं तो सिर्फ 2 के लिए दिखाएगा।
अच्छा, मतलब फॉर्मूला जो लगाया है उससे कुछ नहीं होगा, हमें मैनुअली जाके यहाँ से हटाना पड़ेगा कॉलम।
नहीं नहीं, कॉलम हटाने की जरूरत नहीं है। अगर आपके पास सिर्फ ये फिल्टर्ड मेजर है और डायमेंशन है तो कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं, वो ऑटोमेटिकली जितने कंट्री के लिए है उतना ही दिखाएगा अगर आप समेक्स यूज कर रहे हो तो।
हाँ।
ठीक है। लेकिन अगर आप वो कैलकुलेट वाला यूज कर रहे हो डैक्स फंक्शन तो वो सबके लिए दिखाएगा क्योंकि इट विल नॉट
सबके
गेट
लिए।
फिल्टर। हाँ, बिकॉज ये अफेक्ट नहीं होता कंट्री से।
अच्छा। सर मुझे और कैलकुलेट का एक फंक्शन, वो फंक्शन थोड़ा एक बार दिखाइए।
कैलकुलेट का फंक्शन आपको देखना है।
हाँ सर, यहाँ पे सर क्या हो रहा है कि कैलकुलेट कर रहा है, वो सम कर रहा है सेल्स का, कंट्री का। फ्रांस और जर्मनी को सिर्फ लिया है, सेलेक्ट किया है, यहाँ पे फिल्टर लगाया है क्या?
हाँ, यहाँ पे वो फिल्टर लगाया है प्लस आपका ये प्रोडक्ट
मतलब मुझे
का भी फिल्टर
फंक्शन ही नहीं
लगाया है।
समझ में आ रहा है, फंक्शन कर कैसे रहा है, मतलब कैसे चल रहा है,
ये
मतलब
फंक्शन जो है कैलकुलेट फंक्शन जो है कैलकुलेट फंक्शन का प्रॉपर्टी ही है कि वो फिल्टर करता है। सो पहले तो सम एक्स में हम क्या करते हैं, पहले फिल्टर लगा के फिर एक्सप्रेशन डालते हैं, राइट।
करेक्ट। हाँ।
कैलकुलेट में पहले हम एक्सप्रेशन डालेंगे, तो सम ऑफ सेल्स इज द एक्सप्रेशन हियर। अगर आपको सम के जगह आप बोलोगे मुझे एवरेज चाहिए, तो ये हो जाएगा आपका एक्सप्रेशन, राइट। कॉमा से पहले जो भी है वो है आपका एक्सप्रेशन, राइट। और कैलकुलेट फंक्शन को बाय डिफॉल्ट यूज करते हैं फिल्टर करने के लिए, राइट। दैट्स व्हाई मैं यहाँ पे कोई फिल्टर फंक्शन या फिर कोई अदर फंक्शन यूज नहीं कर रहा हूँ, मैं डायरेक्टली यहाँ पे लिख रहा हूँ कि मुझे ये वाला एक्सप्रेशन चाहिए, दैट इज सम ऑफ सेल्स, जो फिल्टर होगा फ्रांस और जर्मनी के लिए एंड फिल्टर होगा प्रोडक्ट पैसियो के लिए, उसके बाद ये रिजल्ट मिलता है। सो कैलकुलेट का प्रॉपर्टी ही है कि वो फिल्टर करता है।
अच्छा।
बट सर रिजल्ट जो रिपोर्ट में जो वैल्यू दिखाई दे रहा है वो
Yeah.
फ्रांस और जर्मनी ये दोनों का ठीक है, बट उसके अगेंस्ट जितने भी कंट्रीज है उसके अगेंस्ट भी वो सेम वैल्यू रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहा है।
हाँ, क्योंकि ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं होता, वही मैं बता रहा हूँ। कैलकुलेट
ओके।
फंक्शन का प्रॉपर्टी ही वो है कि इट विल नॉट गेट डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड।
ओके।
वो फिल्टर अफेक्ट करके टोटल तो देगा, बट आप कुछ भी यूज कर लो विजुअल में, वो स्टैटिक रहेगा, इट विल नॉट बी डायनामिक।
सो इसका मतलब है कि हम जब पर्टिकुलर ये दे रहे कंट्रीज मेंशन कर रहे मतलब फिल्ट्रेशन जब कर रहे हैं हम टेबल नेम विद द कॉलम नेम, तब उसके अगेंस्ट हमें कंट्रीज भी डालने की कुछ कंपल्सन नहीं है ना, क्योंकि वो
नहीं नहीं,
सभी के
कंपल्सन
लिए।
नहीं है, कंपल्शन नहीं
ओके।
है। ये हम फिल्टर्ड वैल्यू मोस्टली कब यूज करते हैं, जैसे मैंने बताया डिवाइड करने के लिए, या फिर आपको वो एक कार्ड में दिखाना है बट उसको बाकी चीजों से अफेक्ट नहीं करवाना है, जैसे कि आप कुछ अलग चीज सिलेक्ट करोगे विजुअल्स में, वो इंटरैक्ट नहीं करवाना है, ऐसे केसेस में आप कैलकुलेट यूज करोगे। एनी अदर क्वेरी, एनीवन?
नो सर।
सर कल मैंने एक मैट्रिक्स क्रिएट किया था, तो मैट्रिक्स में मुझे मंथ नहीं दिख रहे क्वार्टर वाइज, तो मंथ कैसे से मतलब मंथ कैसे दिखेंगे? हेलो।
राइट।
हेलो।
मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि डेट इस हायरार्की में सेलेक्ट किया है या नॉर्मल डेट सेलेक्ट किया है?
नहीं, ये नॉर्मल डेट में सिलेक्ट किया है।
नॉर्मल डेट सेलेक्ट किया है तो उसका जो फॉर्मेट रहेगा वही दिखाएगा। अगर मंथ ईयर रहेगा तो मंथ ईयर ही दिखाएगा, ऐसा।
अच्छा, ऊपर जो यहाँ पे फॉर्मेट जो रहता है, हम MMDD जो YY जो लिखते हैं वही ना?
हाँ वही, तो वो फॉर्मेट यहाँ पे है। अगर आप नॉर्मल डेट लोगे, डेट हायरार्की लोगे, और उसमें अगर क्वार्टर नहीं दिख रहा है, तो कैसा करना है, यहाँ पे क्वार्टर दिखता है, समझो ये क्वार्टर नहीं है, मेरे से गलती से डिलीट हो गया,
हम्म,
एक्सपैंड करना है इस हायरार्की को, यहाँ पे क्वार्टर दिखेगा, टिक कर देना है, वो आ जाएगा।
अच्छा, ठीक है। हम्म। और सर
एनी
ये
अदर
जब
क्वेरी?
टूल
हाँ
टिप
हाँ,
जब हम
बोलो।
क्रिएट करते हैं तो पेज का सही सर इंक्रीज हो रहा है, वो सर दिखता नहीं है, लेकिन इतना इंक्रीज हुआ है, कितना भी करो तो भी।
पेज का साइज आप
Increase।
इंक्रीज कर रहे हो, यहाँ पे
हाँ।
व्यू में देखना हमेशा। ये व्यू में अगर फिट टू पेज रहेगा तो आप कितना भी इंक्रीज करोगे तो इसमें फिट होगा। फिट टू विड्थ बोलोगे तो जितना भी आपका विड्थ रहेगा उसमें फिट होगा, राइट। और अभी मुझे एक स्क्रॉल आ रहा है नीचे, अगर मैं बोलूंगा एक्चुअल साइज तो सब कुछ एकदम बड़ा दिखेगा।
अच्छा।
Yes. और आपको स्क्रॉल करना पड़ेगा बहुत।
हम्म।
क्या Okay. Any other question? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's stop here for today. We'll connect tomorrow and we'll continue from there. Yeah. So tomorrow we will learn about time calculations. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right then. Thank you, everyone. Let's connect tomorrow. Thank you.